Alright, I've mixed up a small batch, fairly small batch, probably more than I need. And I'm going to, well, actually let me show you what else I forgot to do. I tape on the outside so that the resin doesn't leak through and get all over the place. Not really necessary, but it's something that I like to do because just from experience, I've had it leak through and it ends up with a big blob, and then you have to clean that off, and it's just not fun. So anyways, again, what I'm going to do here is we'll start with the top hatch. So I'm going to put a small patch right here, one about in the middle here, and one over here. So on the top, it'll be one on each side and one in the middle. And I believe there's a spot here where I didn't cut through as well. That's where the rod goes through. So I don't want to put a patch in that area. I don't want to put a latch, if you will. So I'm going to avoid that area too. So I'm going to put one here, 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 and here. We'll go on the inside. And I'm just going to paint a little bit on this edge. Now this is just regular epoxy. This is no different than if I was using the 5-minute stuff or the 10-minute, except that it's a little bit easier, it's thinner. And I'm going to have to work fast because this stuff will set up in the cut. There's my center section I don't want to do. And a little one on the edge. See, I don't have to worry about getting, if I get the resin over here, because actually I want resin over there. I just don't want it to stick. And I'll show you why. Okay, so for just a quickie here, I'm going to put this patch in, and I'm going to lay it right over the center of my cut. Now remember, I've already cut this. Take another patch, I'll put it right over that. I'll use some more resin. Try to keep it neat. Hopefully you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. I'm just making some built-in latches is all. Again, going to stick some more in here. And if you've ever put hatches on, like a plywood hatch or whatever, and you glue it to this fiberglass, it never really wants to stick. And of course somebody's going to call me here. Be right back. Keep putting this stuff down. Again, hopefully you can see how I'm doing this. I'm just putting it in, building up layers. And keep in mind, I have the mold release on this side of the crack is right there. I have the mold release on this side, so none of this stuff is going to stick. When this all cures, I'll be able to pop this piece off, cut where I didn't cut before, which is the little black lines. I'm putting the glass in between. I'll be able to cut where I didn't cut before, and this piece will pop right off. Now I mix this resin up. It's about a 9-minute pot life. I've already used about 8 minutes of it, so because of the phone call. So I'm trying to save it. If I really wanted to get some more life out of it, you spread the epoxy around, spread it out on a flat dish or flat plastic lid or something like that. It gives it a little bit more cooling surface, and you'll be able to extend that pot life a little bit. But for what I want to do right now, I think I'll be just fine. Just making sure that the glass is all completely saturated, and I want the piece basically square over my seam. The other important thing is to remember how many layers you put in. Generally, I'll put about 4 layers of about 6-ounce glass cloth, and that builds it up pretty stiff. I think this is the 5th one. It won't hurt if it's too many. It just makes it kind of thin if it's not enough. And with the resin, what's neat is I can sand this and apply it again right over it if I need some more layers. This just kind of gives you a base. Put another one right here. Might as well use it while I've got it. Now they make a fiberglass tape. Sometimes that's a little bit more convenient because it's already cut. You can get it in various widths, 1-inch widths, 3/4. But I use a sewing scissor. It's a roller scissor, and it cuts this fiberglass nice and clean. If you try to use regular scissors, it tends to hang up on the edges, and you get a bunch of fraying. So this seems to work pretty good. And I'll show you the scissors in the next installment. Probably putting way too many down, but too many can't hurt. Alright, you guys seen enough of this, listening to the commercials and everything in between, so I'm gonna pack it up here, finish things and kind of clean things up a little bit, and when it cures, I'll pop it off for you. I'll show how that works.